Well, the business improvement district for this area is bid 32, and I've been invited to sit on that bid, not as, so that represents Walnut Way and the Walnut Way thought of development. I think it is a new bid, and it is an energized and active bid. One of their first sponsorships was of a mural that is painted in our alleyway.
Is that the one right out here?
Yes. And so there is so much energy in that bid that looks at ways of creating neighborliness, creating entrepreneurial types of businesses. The interesting part about the members of the bid, of this particular bid, is that they really mostly are small business owners. So they get the concept of more small businesses. And what we all know is that there's an attraction if you can build enough of a scale of small businesses so that it becomes a point of destination. In regards to landscaping and sort of branding the area, that is something that's high on the bid's agenda. And we're talking about ways of doing it that look like marking our history. So we may have historical markers on North Avenue in remembrance of some of the businesses that existed, and also a way of claiming a very rich economic base in our community. You know, I'm reminded of a Greek philosopher who says that you never can step in the same water in the same place. So I don't think that our goal is to go back to what it was. We're in the 21st century. I think our goal is that we have a just, vibrant, socially just, vibrant economic base, and that the businesses that are on the strip are providing, are contributing to the health of the community. When I think of a small Main Street community, it's the kind of businesses where it can be anything from artisans to candle makers to who knows who. We have one neighbor who has found a passion in being a landscape photographer. I consider that to be a wonderful addition to our community at times. The strategy for Walnut Way is to be very flexible and nimble. So we don't invest, what we do is partner with other organizations and share the information. One of the other areas of success is that when we see our neighbors buying another house for investor ownership, and we may have a list of contractors that would help them. So it's really more a linkage. We're not the holders of the property, nor do we provide the work for those properties, but we are a linkage. If a neighbor would come to us and say that they wanted to buy a house, we would be happy to help them find homes that are for sale. We would be happy to share our list of good contractors. The area of development has many facets. One is could be a concern about gentrification, where long-term residents no longer can afford to live here. Or remember, our mission is to sustain an economically diverse community. So, yet at the same time, when I returned in 1997, my 3,000 square foot duplex home was valued at $5,000. What do you do with that? How do you take that? Mostly your property is what you use to secure and invest in your land. So it is to the benefit that the properties increase. One of the areas that we're looking at collectively, though, is for our seniors, because many of the homes they own, and they are not ridden with debt. So that margin of an increased property tax could become a burden. And there are some products that help that. Wisconsin Housing and Economic Development Authority, for example, has a product that would allow a senior to take a loan if they needed to for their taxes, and that would go against their house at a point for sale, but it wouldn't put them in jeopardy. And so my point is that part of our work is always about the best policy for development, so that is it. And we're looking at some ways of looking at tax, for want of a better word, some type of tax freeze for our elderly so that they can stay in the community. We were also strategic, and if you drive through the community, you probably couldn't identify it, but we do have housing authority homes that have been built here, and there is at least one, perhaps two, low-income affordable lofts that are absolutely magnificent. So there have been challenges, but we've been thoughtful about keeping the area economically diverse.